Of their normal duties to say, you know, give me $2,000 and I can improve the educational process here, you know, or I'm willing to experiment and see what becomes of it. So the Title III grant that I got involved in was a pilot study to use My Math Test, which is a Pearson publishing product, for a summer remedial program. How I got involved in it, I was on the summer remedial program committee, and we were trying to attract students who needed help in reading, writing, and mathematics. The criteria to get in was you had to place into a remedial program for 2 out of those 3 categories. So this isn't someone who was just weak in math or just weak in reading. You know, it was either reading or writing or reading and math, etc. It wasn't just myself, the committee. Ann Davis headed the committee. Dolores was on it. Wendy was on it. B. Hamilton was involved. Maureen Nicholson was involved. A lot of people involved. The mathematics was one small piece of it. What the committee came up with was they said, let's get a 5-week program in the summer and bring these students in and see if we can kind of, you know, help them during the summer so they can get an easy start. We said, let's have, you know, 3 hours, 8:40 in the morning to 11:45. And if they need help in all 3 subjects, you know, it would be an hour reading, an hour writing, an hour mathematics. It was a pilot program. We were going to shoot for 30 students. As far as the math requirement, the remedial programs, I'm not sure if everyone realizes it. Of course, ISP 091 is a remedial mathematics class, but so is MAT 098 and MAT 100. My first semester here, I didn't realize Math 100 was a remedial class because, you know, it had a 1 in the hundreds place. I thought that was college level, but it really isn't. You know, 105 and 115 are the college algebras. So if a student took the Compass exam and placed there, they met the math requirement. So what we decided is the math department looked over a few things and came up with My Math Test. We had been using My Math Lab in our remedial courses. Okay, that was like computer-assisted homework. Instead of just the answers in the back, they could get help. So Pearson had this other product, My Math Test. And what it would do is it would give the student a diagnostic placement exam. And it would say, okay, you're weak at factoring, but you can multiply. And it would figure out where your weaknesses were. And then it would give the students problems to work on just in their weaknesses. I mean, this could be the future of math education because, you know, the math classroom, not to go off on a soapbox, but the math classroom is kind of like a slow-moving train, and the students hear everything, whether they understand it or not. If you can get this sort of customized computer software, well, you don't have to listen to the things you know, and you can spend twice as much time listening to things you don't know. So we were hoping this would be something that could help these students. Let's see. So what we were hoping is at the end of this program, after they went through that, whatever they initially placed in, say ISP 091, maybe by the end of this 5-week program, they'd be ready for Math 98. Lots of benefits to this. They would save their financial aid because they'd be starting quicker. For some math programs, the sequence of math courses you might need to take could be 8 semesters. You know, we have students coming into engineering programs starting out in ISP or Math 98, and you know, it's going to be a long road for them. So if you can save 1 semester in 5 weeks, that's a big benefit. Of course, there was money associated with this. The My Math Lab, Pearson, I think was willing to work with us. The reality is this is a new product. And they said they'd give it to us for $10 a CD. So we had 30 students. We needed $300 for that. The program, the first year, we wanted it to be free for the students, but the program, you know, had a $50 tuition fee. So the Title III grant covered that for them as well. We wanted a lab assistant in the room with them. I mean, they're working on the computers, but if they need help, there should be someone there who can give them some help. So the lab assistant, you know, received a fee for their work. B was also a technical assistant. I'm not sure how many. I know you did a lot prior to the students coming on board. I'm not sure what happened. You know, once they were
getting them on.
Yeah, getting them online. B was instrumental in you know, figuring out the My Math Test for them. There were also some supplies. You know, it's you know, this is typically an underprivileged class. The people we're targeting, they're you know, financially struggling. So I think it was Wendy's idea to come up with like a little care package for them to start and make that positive impact. I think we gave them a nylon book bag that said SUNY Ulster and some pads of papers and protractors and all sorts of goodies like that. So Title III covered those things. As far as the results of the programs, the students who had a math deficiency, there were 25 of them that we identified. Over the 5 weeks, 13 of them finished. For me as a math faculty member, that's not surprising at all. You know, it might not be surprising for anybody, but you know, underprivileged students in the summer doing this on their own, some of them dropped off along the way. Of those 13, and I can type this up and send it out in a graphic if anyone wants, but of those 13, 10 of them had placed into ISP 091. So the lion's share placed into our lowest course. 2 others placed into 98, our second lowest course, and 1 had actually, you know, originally placed into Math 115. So one of these students, I guess, didn't have a math deficiency, but decided to participate in the program. So 10 out of 13 were in our lowest. Of those 10, 5 improved their placement over these 5 weeks. 4 of them went from 91 to 98. They moved up a course in 4 weeks. 1 of them went from 91 to 115, so hopscotched over 2 courses, skipped 2 courses, saved themselves 3 semesters of work because they got out of the one they were placed in and hopscotching over the other 2. And those kind of things happen. Placement exams aren't perfect. So percentage-wise, 38% of these 13 that finished actually had a you know, marked improvement in their performance. And that's just the reality. I think almost every student could probably benefit from summer work, because our students coming out of the high school, the reality is, for most of them, math is not learned like, I learned the concept deeply and now I own it for life. A lot of them are, I've memorized it for a month, I take the exam, and you know, when we see them, you know, a month or so into the summer, they've forgotten a lot of it. So a lot of them can benefit. I think that's the highlights. Any questions, Steve?
Did you track the students, how they did when they went into that, like if they placed in 098, later how they did in that course?
I have that. I can pull that together for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep going with this?
It's planned for next summer as well. I know, I think Ann Davis wants to speak to the Senate to inform us on how the remedial program has been doing as a whole. The summer segment is one portion of it. But yeah, it's being planned for next summer as well. I don't know if they're enlarging it. I'm not involved with the committee anymore. I was over a year
They
ago.
want to discuss.
Okay. But they are planning on doing it again next summer.
Great.
Okay. Okay.